So of course we are here in the community of Point Michelle, where we continue our coverage of the Hurricane Maria stories, and we're just hearing from Dominicans what they went through 5 years ago. Well, we are the eve of Hurricane Maria. We're just hearing from Dominicans the Hurricane Maria story and what they went through. But of course we felt the need to show you what the sea is looking like. Yesterday we heard of the tropical storm Fiona, which was luckily did not affect Dominica. We continue to keep our regional countries, islands, sister islands in our prayer, as they're being affected right now by tropical storm Fiona. But of course we're just going to continue on our coverage and to hear from Dominicans 5 years later what they recall about Hurricane Maria. And that evening, one individual that we have here with us in the community of Point Michelle is Mr. Reynolds. Good day to you, Mr. Reynolds, and thank you for speaking to Dominica News Online. Okay. Tomorrow is officially the 5th year anniversary of Hurricane Maria. Mr. Reynolds, can you just take us back 5 years ago, the 17th of September? The dates kind of started off like this, where we saw a little bit of showers. None of us expected the outcome. Can you just tell me what you recall on the 17th of September, and then we'll move into the evening and the day after?
Well, to be honest, when the 17th of September, Hurricane Maria, I remember a lady by the name of Violet Josie asked me, because no, she lives on her own. Because all the children live out there. And she had to come and keep her company for the night. So when it was about 2:30 in the afternoon that day, I went to buy Miss Violet Josie. And there I stayed, and after that, it was like a disaster started. And then I stayed there, and then she started getting kind of scared. Because she's kind of, she's not young, but I was the one there to try to cheer up, stay there with her, trying to cheer up a bit. And then afterwards, when it was, when the wind started to blow, when it was about 10, 11 o'clock, the wind started to blow, rain started to fall. After time, when I look up, I say, hey, Marvi, I see in the sky, which roof had gone already.
And which community?
Right in Point Michelle.
Right in Point Michelle.
Because just a few yards off the ID. And then we keep up on the night after about 1 o'clock in the morning. Somebody came knocking on the door looking for rescue. When he went, was a guy called Derek, because even right there his door wasn't covered. He came in for Haitian and one of his her son, and which because I even had cut my foot because she got into trouble even right there also. And then we opened for them, which was already in water, but we still have to rescue them. And maybe another 10 minutes again, they come by the name of Emily, which she tell me one day we get nobody. And I say nobody doesn't come, we have to open for them because of they want rescue. Anyway, things went, and then went over about 3 o'clock in the morning. When it started to cool down, I came out. When I look up, I look down. When I saw the Dominica finish. To be honest, I was expecting more death. I wasn't asking for death. But when I came down by the road and I saw this tip, I said, no, Dominica finish. Which I couldn't believe that because it was more there. Anyway, as you go, I go, my children more there, I go there, I go and break around. And then later on, I get to know that I'm a nephew of mine passed in the hurricane, which is Philip's son Reynolds. That's my last brother's son. Because they're living down by the Ravine area in Subuli, which I think they have a prayer for them tomorrow. They begin a prayer for them tomorrow. And they say, when I go candle, a good flower. So at least they'll bring back a little memory. Because remember, whoever who lose their life, and including my nephew also.
Mr. Reynolds, what happened that evening of September 17th into the 18th, was that the worst experience of your life?
Well, I saw David, but I was at the age of, when I saw King David, I was at the age of 14, taking for my son King David. And for me, that one was, Maria was worse than David. Although David was kind of terrible, but I was young, for me it was like a pleasure. But it's Maria really make me experience what a hurricane is.
And in terms of the aftermath, you being someone I know, 14, still pretty young, but I'm sure that you maybe have a memory of the aftermath. In the aftermath of Maria, we saw their looting, we saw the assistance coming in, so they're good and bad. Was it different from what you witnessed with David and Maria? Was it vastly different?
Well, to be honest, with David, David didn't have all that looting like Maria. For Maria, I saw more looting than David. And for me, the ration for David went better than Maria.
The distribution of the ration.
The ration, David was better than Maria. Because each district had their people giving, you know, a matter of fact, right there was our area. We had people distributing ration. Now, all districts had their own people. But for Maria, there are people delivering for you. And it's like giving who they want. You know, it's like they were looking for people, and maybe after that, when they think of you, they will give you maybe what the remainder. But David wasn't like that. David, everybody was on the same boat.
And for you, Mr. Reynolds, in your opinion, I mean, tomorrow will be the 5th year anniversary of Hurricane Maria. What have been your overall feedback in terms, first of how we've responded as a nation? I mean, in the start, we saw the togetherness and everyone coming together. 5 years later, do you believe that this is still ingrained in us, or we have lost that sense of togetherness? Do you believe that?
Yes, up to now, because Maria didn't change nothing, not to be honest. I thought, well, after Maria, I thought we'll come back together and make one, because I felt, but for me, nothing changed.
Nothing changed, it's still the same.
Even me myself, you know, I had a boss there which DC took Maria to. I know, and because of where I am, anywhere I am, I never got nothing for it. He never give me nothing. I go wherever I go, and then maybe because you know this have to give you a different story, I just put it away. But you see, the thing is, you know, I don't see where politics should be involved when it comes to them kind of disaster. Because all of us are human beings, all of us pay tax. If you go in the shop, I just buy a beer there, I pay the VAT on it. So all of us are tax people. So why make one set suffer, and when the other set in on it? It's not fair.
And as a nation itself, moving away from the citizens, in terms of the country and over, you know, our development, what have been your feedback, or would you say that we've done thus far 5 years later?
Well, so far I cannot complain. I can complain, to be honest. I can complain because, you know, you have to fight. You're not going to sit down there and you know, come and say God is good. Because they say God help you yourself. Before I can complain, because, you know, I fight in my struggle. But whatever I say, you know, it's up to a disaster pass. Should be looking out for everybody, not for people you know, or not for oneself. You know, all of us should be involved in whatever that comes.
Okay, Mr. Reynolds, if there is anything that you would like to say to our viewing public, those viewing the live, or someone who may view it later, any message that you would like to stress to our Dominican public, as we move ahead 5 years after a life-changing disaster such as Maria?
Yes, but all of us have to thank the Almighty, you know, because yesterday could be just like Maria 5 years ago, and all of us have just come together and make one, and just like one family. All of us are one. No matter who you are, where you are, wherever you are, all of us should be the same. Come together and just make one family.
Okay. So we thank you so very much for sharing your Hurricane Maria story with us, Mr. Reynolds, here at Dominican News Online. So
welcome. That was my pleasure.
Thank you. So of course, this is Dominican News Online, bringing you live coverage of just Hurricane Maria story, speaking to citizens around the island of what they've gone through and what they went through 5 years ago. Well, tomorrow will be the 5th year anniversary, but just sharing the Hurricane Maria story. And as you see, we are Dominica was under Tropical Storm watch yesterday, and Tropical Storm Fiona, and thankfully the island was not directly affected, not that much, of course, we should say. So we are just going to continue on throughout the island and speak to a few more citizens to hear their story and to just get some opinions on 5 years later how we've come as a nation. So we thank you for staying connected. Thank you for joining us here at Dominican News Online. Do continue to follow our page so you'll get an update as soon as we go live.